Hello. Welcome back today. I want to talk about something that is often overlooked in our healing journey after we have a challenging or traumatic birth, and that is nutrition. Welcome to The Discerning Mother, the podcast for moms who want to heal their mind, body, and soul, learn to trust their instincts, and step fully into the motherhood God has designed for them. I am Bridget Tibaldi, a board-certified women's health coach. I'm here to help you break free from fear, to reconnect with your body, and to embrace the peace and confidence that is already within you. Let's get started. Protein really is truly foundational for healing. So protein is the building block of our cells, and it is essential for tissue repair. So especially after a physical and emotional taxing event like birth. And when we've been through something as intense as birth and as intense as a challenging or traumatic birth, our bodies are in a state of repair. So protein is super important because it helps to rebuild those tissues. It helps to support the immune system. And a huge one is that it plays a big role in balancing our hormones, which, as you know, after you give birth are like all over the place, ups, downs, all around. So think of protein as like the scaffolding that holds everything together. So if you're feeling foggy or tired, emotionally drained, it could be because your body doesn't have enough of this crucial building block. Because again, protein are the building blocks of the cell. And again, we're not just talking about cells in our body, we're talking about cells in our brains as well. So what you want to do is you want to aim for high quality protein sources. If you have them available to you, like grass-fed beef, poultry, eggs, wild-caught fish, lentils, quinoa, anything like that. And veggies, even like spinach. And what these can do is they will help you feel more grounded. They'll help you feel more focused and ready to tackle the day, even if it does feel really difficult. And as personal experience tells me, if I'm really hungry and I want to reach for like the chocolate here versus having like, I don't know, the leftover meatballs that are in the fridge, I should always go for the leftover meatballs because I'm going to feel infinitely better after the meatballs versus after the chocolate. So there's some different guidelines for protein. Some say 1 gram per pound of weight that you have. Lily Nichols suggests 80 to 100 grams of protein. The Brewer diet suggests 125 grams of protein. So really don't be afraid of protein, especially if you are pregnant or postpartum, because it really is such an important part of your diet. And just as a personal story, after my second birth, it was really challenging. And I remember feeling like I was always like drained and running on empty. And part of that is because like I lost a lot of blood during that birth and had a transfusion and everything. But it just felt like I just felt drained overall as well. So whenever I really started to focus on my healing instead of just like surviving, but actually healing, it was like the clouds like began to lift off and I could finally like think clearly. I felt more like me again. And it took a long time because I like wasn't really willing to accept help and do that. But once I did, it was like, oh, this is who I am again. It feels great. Okay, now we're going to chat about fats. So fats, especially in the 80s and 90s, had a really bad rap, right? So it was like, nobody eat fats, butter's bad for you, only use margarine, don't use olive oil, only use like whatever. And that's not true. For many, many reasons. So we're talking about good fats here. So these are so important for healing and brain function. And the brain function is huge after you've had a traumatic experience, because if you have PTSD after a traumatic experience, then you really, really, really need to heal your brain, because you literally have a brain injury if you had a traumatic experience and you have PTSD from that. So your brain is essentially all fats, right? So we need fats in order to help heal our brain. So fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oils, fatty fish like salmon are not only good for our bodies, but again, they're also really, really great for our brains. So healthy fats can help reduce inflammation, which is key for anybody who has experienced trauma. So To bring up Lily Nichols again, she highlights the importance of omega-3 fatty acids, and particularly from sources like wild-caught fish and flaxseed. And if you're like me, I don't really love fish, but I'm starting to love fish because I know how good it is for me, and you can actually make it taste good. So these fats help in reducing inflammation and improving brain health, and this can help stabilize our moods, which, as you know, if you're a mom, is very important that you try your best to remain joyful at all times, and they can help support emotional healing as well. So these fats are essentially think of it like cushions for our brains and bodies to heal from the inside out. They're basically giving us, these fats basically give us big hugs in our brains to help our brain cells feel calmer, so therefore we feel a little bit calmer too. So as a little tip, make sure your meal has protein, make sure it has healthy fats, especially if you're pregnant. Don't be afraid to eat a handful of nuts with breakfast or throughout the night or throughout the day. Olive oil on your salad, chia seeds in your smoothie, little changes like that can make a really big difference in how we feel and how we function. Now we're going to get to carbs. So carbs are not the enemy, as most people think that they are. They do often get a bad rap, but again, they're not the enemy. So we're talking about whole, complex carbs because our bodies love carbs because they're so easy for them to turn into energy. So carbs like sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, whole fruits and vegetables are going to provide our bodies with sustained energy. And this is such a big, crucial thing for healing and avoiding blood sugar crashes, which if you have ever had your blood sugar crash, which I'm sure you've had, it's not a fun experience. And so complex carbs can help balance our blood sugar levels and provide necessary energy for postpartum recovery as well. And when our blood sugar is stable, we're less likely to experience mood swings. We're also less likely to experience anxiety and fatigue. And these are things that you definitely don't want as a new mom, but especially if you've had a traumatic birth. So again, balance is the key here. If you have a carb, just eat a protein or healthy fat with it as well. Again, carbs are not the enemy at all. So the important thing with all of this is to remember that nourish to flourish. I know that sounds corny, but it really is true. Think about it. If you nourish your body well, you're going to flourish. If you don't nourish your body well, you're going to feel sluggish and just not great. So putting it all together, this is not always easy. It can feel really overwhelming to juggle all of these different nutritional needs, especially if you're exhausted and emotionally drained and you have no desire to make dinner or no desire to make lunch or anything like that. And you're just I'll eat whatever scraps the kids give me. But that's where I come in, because I've been through this journey myself. I have 5 little ones of my own, and I've guided so many women to find a path of healing that works for them and that is sustainable. So I know the struggles, the doubts, the confusion, and I want to help you cut through all the noise of all of that. So if you're feeling tired, if you are feeling kind of lost, now is the time to reach out, get help, because it's not only going to benefit you, but it's also going to benefit your family. Because think about, your kids want a happy mom. Your husband wants to walk in the door and see a smile on your face. And you do that by nourishing yourself in all of the ways. So with food, with conversations, with community, everything like that. So if you are really ready to go on this next step and give your body the nourishment that it deserves, I really want to encourage you to reach out, set up your free call with me. I would love to chat. And don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you found this helpful. And share it with your friends or your other mom friends. And until next time, take care. And please know that you are in my prayers.